Hey guys, Donnie here with another review for Gaming Trend. Today we're talking about Mistfly game Subdivision Infinity DX. We've got 5 reasons why you should play this game on the PS5 in 2021 and beyond, and 5 reasons you probably shouldn't. Mistfly game Subdivision Infinity DX is a new space shooter brought to the PlayStation 5 with a mobile arcade-fueled vengeance. Originally released on mobile, PlayStation 4, and other platforms in 2019 until now. This game never showed up on my radar, but essentially you play the role of Rebel 1, a freelance, handsome pilot hired to investigate a distress signal being sent from an unknown station. From there, you're sent on a journey that sees you to uncover experiments to create artificial black holes and other various mysteries that have you cross paths with shady organizations and mercenary groups. The story itself is basically told between missions via voiceless characters who appear on screen and, though handsome, but only appear on screen with dialogue boxes instead of any voice acting at all. It serves a little more than insight and information onto the story, but it does force you to read, which really is immersion breaking. Today, we're here to talk about 5 reasons why you should play this game in 2021, and 5 reasons why you shouldn't. I'd like to start off with the bad news first. I've never been a fan of mobile games before, and this game screams of its mobile roots, and it's really brought to light when you're playing on a PlayStation 5. So let's kick it off with the top 5 reasons why you shouldn't play this game. First, it's overly simplistic. The dogfighting is fine, but it is a very simple game. You have a third-person view behind your cockpit, and you don't get to see much of anything else besides what's directly in front of you, with the ship bouncing around your viewfinder, and a reticule that seems to stick to every target unless you turn auto-aim off. Reason number 2. The game is obviously designed for touchscreens, hence being a mobile game. Horizontal and vertical ship movement is assigned basically to just the left side of the controller, which is a bit odd. I mean, you do get used to it, but it's not exactly comfortable when you've been playing games like No Man's Sky or anything else that has any kind of space combat or fighting involved. Number 3. The menus are bland and they seem like an afterthought more than keeping you engaged or asking for too much of your attention to really dive into the stats and the features and some of the hidden things. It's a really simplistic menu, and that's alright for some games, but this again just highlights the fact that it was intended for a mobile platform. Number 4. Every level basically boils down to taking out wave after wave after wave of enemy ships with little deviation, besides a sporadic side mission or quest, which does help a lot with a variety. Those are basically the only other objectives that come into the mix. Hacking missions are kind of neat. You get to fight off enemies while staying close to a station or to a turret. It creates a little bit of fun there, but really it gets very repetitive. And then there's the boss encounters. The first boss you play in the game basically tries to ram you to death in space. It's a highly ineffective method of taking out other spaceships, but it seems to work, or it seems at least to be the idea for this dev team here. Later bosses are also challenging, with shields that regenerate and endless waves of fighters that come after you until you take them out, but they really don't have much pizzazz. It really doesn't stick with you like some of the other boss battles I've played in other games like this. Point number 5, it is a mobile game first, and it really does feel like it. I feel like that's a detriment to the game because some mobile games can be great. I've never enjoyed mobile games as much as console games, and when I do play them, I find that those with good story and immersion can hook you like a regular AAA title game. This game just doesn't seem to have that. It lacks personality, it really doesn't offer much up that you'll remember from this, and the experience in itself, though fun and great in short sprints, it's just not something that I see myself coming back to or making any of my top 10 lists for this year. Now let's go on to 5 reasons why you should play this game on PlayStation 5. First off, there's 30 plus missions that take you across 5 very unique and different regions of space. Players have a ton of options to customize and test out 10 or 12 ships and several upgrades and gun types to test and dogfight to whichever style you like. I enjoyed this fact. Also, as part of the ship selection process, the player is forced to craft an option of the ship. There's essentially 10 in the first loadout, 5 that you can buy, and 5 that you have to craft using materials and elements that you found in the wild. Now, these stats and attributes actually all differ side to side, ship to ship, crafted, non-crafted, purchased, or whatever. But I really did find some enjoyability of saying, yeah, I'm saving up for that ship. When I hit level 8 or whatever, I'll be there and I'll have the crafting supplies required, and I'm looking forward to it. So that part did keep my interest. The gun loadouts are interesting as well. You can upgrade each individual gun up to 5 tiers, which is again cool, adding just a little bit of layering and stacking. If you're an RPG person who enjoys space combat, this could be a fun thing for you. Number 2, the price point is extremely low. On Steam and PlayStation Store, it's about $15 US. So for that price point, again, manage your expectations, but for what you get out of the package, 10, 12, maybe 25, 30 hours, it's money well spent, I think, if you like dog fighting in space. Now, if you don't, you might want to go elsewhere with your $15. Number 3. Graphically, it is a pretty game, and now that you've got your shiny new PS5, play that baby in 4K and suck in all of these great vistas, background animations, minimal pop-in, all that kind of stuff really does function well for this title on PS5. Number 4. Tight space combat gameplay. I'm not sure if you've played many space dogfighting games. This one has a unique maneuverability that is unmatched, I feel, from any other ship. You know the Murano from Guardians of the Galaxy? Essentially, you have that ability of dipping, diving, turning on a spot, flipping around. There's often times in the game where you don't know which way is up or down due to the fact that you're just floating in space. The maneuverability and the tight turns you can actually make with these controls do lend to make an exciting and interesting flight experience. I really enjoyed that as I spent some time zipping through craters in the middle of an asteroid I was mining. I was able to flip around and go through loops and holes and individual little places that I never thought the ship would fit. And man, it was fun. Really, really fun gameplay. Number 5. Exploration and unique loot. I did find myself just deviating from the plan slightly to flip through the universe. It is really expansive, and in the exploration mode with no time limit, you do have waves of enemies that you have to combat, but essentially you can still duck into an asteroid, mine away to your heart's content, find loot, upgrade your ship. It does create an interesting loop for the exploration part. Now, at a normal mission, those exploration points are there, and it's a little bit more linear, a little more straightforward. But for what you get for their price point again, the level of exploration, the level of ship customization, harvesting asteroids and minerals, using them for crafting or profit, it really does create a fun little game loop. This is really like number 6, but one point I did like about this title is that you can pick it up for 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 15 minutes at a time, or play for 2 hours. It's really up to you, but I often find myself with just a few minutes of gameable time, and I want to use that time to my advantage. If I want to hop in and take out a mission, try again at that boss, or do a little mining in my 5 minutes of time I have, this is a very easy game to jump in and out of. So if you've got limited time, enjoy dogfighting, and want to be blasting around in space, it could be the perfect title for you. In conclusion, for what this game has going for it, I do think it meets expectations. It's a space dogfighter with a unique playability that allows you to pick up and put it down for 5-10 minutes at a time. You can jump in and pick up your progress. There's no immersion necessary where you don't have to remember any tracking or crafting recipes or any kind of where was that last mission or did I make that marker. Everything's laid out nicely for you. And I really do think that part of the game I can appreciate. The ship variety, the weapon offerings certainly will help you to keep coming back for those short sprints. But I'm afraid the repetition and the lack of a real hook will prevent me from sinking too many hours into it. Overall, I rate this game a 65 out of 100. But for the price point and the quick jump in and out ability, I won't be deleting it just yet. If you want something you can jump in and out, kill a few minutes, and space pirates at the same time without requiring you to focus too deeply on any one thing, then Subdivision Infinity DX for the PS5 is certainly for you. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Subdivision Infinity DX for the PlayStation 5, we do appreciate a share, a like, or a thumbs up. And for everything else, stay right here on Gaming Trend.